To celebrate the release of Star Wars The Acolyte, I thought it would be a great idea to rank all the Star Wars movies. Is this the worst possible idea? Cause Star Wars is maybe, I don't know, little bit controversial? Oh fuck. Listen, you can disagree with my ranking, but I feel like Attack of the Clones is objectively the worst Star Wars movie. It has horrendous CGI, the plot does not make any sense, and the acting is horrendous. There's nothing about this movie that worked. I especially love the ending where they try to make us believe that Anakin, Obi-Wan and Padme are in danger, even though this is a prequel. Also, can we just talk about Anakin and Padme? Their age difference is creepy and they have no chemistry. I do not blame Natalie Portman and Hayden Christensen, because no one can make this sound natural.
I don't like sand. It's coarse and rough and irritating.
What do you do when the entire fanbase is divided? You make a movie that nobody likes. So Palpatine is back, no time to explain. Chewie is dead. Oh no. There are more stormtrooper deserters like Finn, but we're not gonna spend any time on them. Finn feels the force now. Sure, no time. Rey can heal lightsaber wounds with her force powers. Like where the fuck was this when we needed it in the previous 8 movies? Also, Rey can strike down Palpatine in the end because that would make her Sith, but later she can because reasons. But the worst part about this movie is that it says that your past or name doesn't make your future. So Rey being a Palpatine doesn't mean she's evil, but in the end she chooses the Skywalker name. Like, no, this movie is about your name not mattering and you still fucking change it. This might be a surprise for some people, but on a rewatch this really went down for me. It is an overacted mess. Anakin turns to the dark side within 10 seconds because he does not get promoted. It is embarrassing that this is how Anakin becomes Darth Vader. He is a whiny bitch. Don't forget, the Emperor reveal should be a twist, and it is the worst plot twist ever. It's so obvious. Oh my god, the guy who is acting sus for multiple movies is the bad guy? Like, oh no! There are things I like. Order 66 is great, and the beginning is fun. But that's kinda it. Even Anakin versus Obi-Wan is a CGI mess. It really isn't as good as people say it is. Yes, the first part of this movie is really, really bad. It is boring, Jar Jar is annoying, and the underwater city is bad CGI. But after they find Anakin, it gets really fun. I think the pod racing is amazing, and also most of the final battle is great. The Darth Maul battle is peak Star Wars. This movie is still not great, but it has its moments. Say it with me, this is just a worse version of A New Hope. Somebody literally says, it's another Death Star, like, come the fuck on. Rey is not a Mary Sue, but she's still awfully written. I do really like Finn. I think he should have been the main focus of this trilogy. It is watchable, especially by the enthusiasm of Oscar Isaacs, but it is just played too safe. The movie that divided the world. When it focuses on Rey, Kylo Ren and Luke, it is great. Luke always had to fight the urges of the dark side, so for him to give up hope when he gives into that dark side urges makes sense. The bond between Rey and Ren is amazing, and dare I say, fucking hot. The throne room scene is so great, and the death of Snoke had my jaw on the floor. If this was the movie, it would have been way higher on this list. But we have the Holdo plotline. Her not telling Poe does not make any fucking sense. She is the worst character in Star Wars. Leia also should have died here. It would have been way better than what they did in Rise of Skywalker. The plot here should have been Leia dying and then Finn wanting to run and Poe wanting to fight, giving natural conflict and letting them work together. Here I just fixed this fucking movie. Also, what do Finn and Rose do in this movie. Like, you can cut them out and the movie does not change. This should have been a Disney Plus show. I don't mind this, but it is way too short. We learn nothing about characters, like how does this crime world work and what did Kira do to get where she is at the end of the movie. I do think most of the cast is good. Glover and Alden aren't as good as the originals, of course, but they do the best they can. It is also just a really fun movie with some nice twists and turns. It moves at a nice pace and doesn't bore me. But I hate the fucking droid. She's horrendous and like the sexual undertones are so fucking weird. Everything about this one is great, from the Jabba escape to the Ewoks and the final battle. Luke choosing good and Darth Vader killing the Emperor is amazing. It feels a bit episodic though, and that's why it isn't higher. The pacing isn't great, but still an amazing ending to the trilogy. A New Hope is perfect. It is exciting from beginning to end and introduced us to great characters as Han, Leia, Luke and Darth Vader. We have the Death Star escape scene, we have the amazing final battle. I don't have any complaints about this one, but there are just a couple of really good Star Wars movies. This is my favorite Star Wars movie. It answers a question we had, like how did the rebels get the plans? The action is amazing and I love all the characters. Ben Mendelsohn is great as a villain, and even though you know everyone will die, you care about these characters. Jyn is the best Star Wars character by far. And there are other great characters like Cassius. You have like this really cool platform scene where Cassius actually has to kill the father of Jyn, but he can't, and in the end the father dies anyway, but it's a really tense scene and you can really see his inner struggle. Also, I really like droids. This is how you do it. Like, this droid getting the gun at the end is a really well payoff of Jyn and the droid not trusting each other in the beginning. And what I also really like is that this movie makes the Force look like it's more of a mindset. Like, everybody can have the Force if you believe in it. I think that's a really good idea. And we haven't even talked about that hallway scene. Really seeing Vader in action. It is maybe the best Star Wars scene we have. But there is one better Star Wars movie. This is one of the greatest part 2s ever made. We start with an amazing battle in the snow, followed by amazing training, and we meet Yoda, which is like this most interesting character. And in the end, it is so interesting that the good guys lose. Every scene about this is great, making it just not one of the best Star Wars movie ever, but overall one of the best movies. So I hope I did not divide the fanbase further than Rey and Ren divided that lightsaber in the throne room scene. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I see you next week with another video.